Hi everyone, I'm Robyn Zimmerman and this is Talk of the Town with Roy Austin. As you know, he is the founder, he's the president of Libraries for Kids. And Roy, I understand that we have about 230,000 books that are now over in Africa being distributed. So where are we in that process?
The books are in the process of being stamped and sorted and ready for delivery to the schools. Every book has to be stamped, donated by Libraries for Kids, so it shows that we're not there selling books.
Right.
So that process is going on. They're working very hard. They've got 5 container loads with 233,000 books stacked up in the warehouse. And if you can imagine going through that many books to stamp them, and then you got to sort them by grade level and subject level. So it's quite a process, and that many books takes probably 6 to 8 weeks to get done before we can start distributing.
Getting them out.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever been to that warehouse?
No, I'm going in May. I've been to the one we had before would only hold 2 containers. So when we found out we were going to do 5 containers, we found a bigger place.
Okay. Now, World Book Day charity event, I think is April 27th.
April 27th.
Okay, let's talk about that.
And I want to mention that our sponsors, and give them credit because they make a big difference here. Our title sponsor is Tito's Handmade Vodka. They're a big part of this. Lowcountry Taps has been also a very strong supporter, and they're supplying a lot of beer. Tito's is supplying a lot of vodka. Pay Proudly has been a strong supporter of us for several years, and so they are much appreciated. And then we've got some recognition sponsors of Southern Barrel Brewing. Tacaron is supplying the wine. Shell Ring Ale Works.
Yes.
And I'm going to forget. Harbor Point Dentistry.
Okay, very good.
So we could handle some more sponsors.
More sponsors, but you have a lot of variety of sponsors.
Right, and all the alcohol, beer, wine, liquor is being donated. So we don't have that expense. So that's helping. But,
so these sponsors, they do what they do because they understand your mission,
right?
And they obviously feel an affinity for Libraries for Kids and what you're doing for children and the kids over in Africa.
I mean, our biggest challenge with sponsors is that most sponsors want to be able to say that they're contributing to something that's going on locally.
Right.
And of course, we're operating over there in Kenya.
Right, right.
But it's really a question of these kids have nothing and no books and no opportunities, and getting the books to them opens up opportunities and gives them a hand up, not a handout.
And locally, to help our young people understand what's going on in Africa, you've got this idea of this project that you want to do to educate our youth about the youth in Africa. So talk about that.
That's correct. I mean, we've put together a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, interviews with teachers and students. I've been to Africa 4 times now. I'm going back in May, and we'll collect more information. But we'd like to be able to somehow do something in the local schools to give kids an idea here what it's like to go to school in the rural areas over there. I mean, over there you walk 4, 5, 6 kilometers just to get to school. You go into a school that in most cases has dirt floors, no electricity, no devices, no computers, no cell phones and all that sort of stuff. It's very common for 20 to 30 kids to have to share one textbook. So if you can imagine sharing your English book, your math book, your science book with 20 or 30 other kids, but yet they are so hungry to learn and they are so enthusiastic, and it's just a joy to meet and talk with them.
So that would be wonderful to help our youth, our students feel much more appreciative of the education that they get and their opportunities.
Yeah,
I think that's great. Again, your event, big fundraiser on April the 27th, and that's going to be at the Maritime
At the Wheezy Educational Center at the
Right.
Port Royal
Right.
Maritime Museum.
Perfect, perfect. Sponsorships are still available.
Yep.
And also
Tickets are still
tickets
available, too.
still available for the big fundraiser, the World Book Day on April 27th. Roy, good to see you again.
Thanks, Robyn. Appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you being on our program.